So this is what it is. The competitiveness comes from, I don't like losing. And when I got injured, like, I was like, well, I can't run as fast as you. You got 2 good legs. I'm not competing with them anymore. I'm competing with this dude in here. And then when I do get to the finish line, I can be satisfied with the results.
Cedric was different than your average young guy in the Army. Well, one thing is I never witnessed him walk. He would run in the barracks, he would run to the job, he would run to the DFAC. We start walking back, come on, man, let's run to the gym. I'd be like, well, when we get to the gym, we're gonna run. Why will we run there? But he loves running.
You become a runner because you got a big sergeant that's saying, look, you better run. So you get good at running. And that competitive desire, it just is like, it's a brotherhood that just will not lay down and quit.
Imagine taking away John Elway's throwing arm, or taking away Michael Jordan's jump shot. But that's what happened when Cedric lost his legs, because if you would cut him open, it's probably part of his DNA.
We step out of the outpost, we step out of the gate, and about 5 minutes into it, we come under attack. It feels like the weight of like a catapult picks me up and throws me up in the air. I'm screaming because I feel like the heat of like iron, but it's all over my body. The lungs have been punctured, I'm gasping for air. I began to think about my wife, my daughters. None of that other stuff in life mattered at that point. Not money, not getting promoted to the next rank, nothing.
I'm wondering, am I ever gonna see my husband again? Is he okay? And I remember asking if he was going to live, and the gentleman on the phone said, ma'am, he's in serious condition.
I wake up in Maryland, and I'm coming out of a coma. So what I remember is her explaining it to me. The moment that she told me that you know, I didn't have legs, I felt like it can't be me. This couldn't be me. And my mind began to go from, hey, I'm Sergeant King, the battlefield leader, to who am I now? I'm a guy without legs.
Lead with your left side. There you go.
For him, it was like, okay, have I lost my identity? But I have him on videotape where he looks over and he says, you guys aren't gonna get me back in that wheelchair. And he meant it.
You're not gonna be able to get me back on that wheelchair, I can tell you that.
He's just that guy that's gonna push it a little bit harder, a little bit further.
Got it.
Not let the doubts sink in. He's that guy.
Get me out of the way. Get out of the way, guy.
It was like, okay, I remember that guy.
What does it look like? That's good.
It was like, hey, I do remember. This is what I like to do. I do like to work out. I do like to give 100%. The first time, I remember the first workout, they give me these running blades, and running is so different now. And it's like, okay, I don't want to mess it up. And when I began to see improvement, I was like, wow, it's working just like it worked when I was in the Army. I still can compete. No, I'm not as fast as I was before, but I'll get there though. That reintroduced me to the guy that is running marathons.
I had been guiding wounded veterans for a handful of years prior to that, and I got to meet Cedric, and we hit it off a little bit, and he asked me to guide him.
So I tell the CEO, I said, hey man, I need a guide, why don't you run with me? And Dave's like, You want me to run a half marathon and a full marathon back to back, Saturday and Sunday? I was like, yeah.
The whole notion of running a half marathon and a full marathon back to back was, not number one on your list, but the intimacy that's created out there on the running course is like something I've never experienced before. When you see it and you feel it and you taste it, if you will, it blows you away in terms of the art of the possible.
Welcome back, Captain America. Welcome back.
Nobody ever questioned, can you do it? It was always, he's doing it, so we'll do it.
Watching someone like Dave, who doesn't have to be there by your side, but is willing to, it renewed something in me about the American people, honestly, that we're not going to give up on our wounded service members that are coming back home and who've been injured. Cigna doesn't feel like a company. Cigna feels more like family.
We believe in power of possibilities. When you boil it down then, as a corporation, Cedric symbolizes all of that, right? As a Master Sergeant Army Ranger, he could do anything, and then his life got changed on a dime. He's back to a person who could do anything, period, full stop. And that's really powerful.
They just believed in me. It's that simple. They never looked at me like an amputee. They looked at me as a competitor.
We were blessed a couple of years ago to make a great friend. And he's back to visit a little bit. Again, guys, First Sergeant Cedric King. For having met wounded warriors before, there was something really, really special about him. He may have lost his legs, but he never lost his heart. Nothing was going to get in his way, and he was going to succeed, and he was going to live life to the fullest. I think that's what impressed us all.
Keep pounding on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Keep pounding.
Man, every time I hear it, man.
When he's in the marathon, you can see the uplifted, Cedric King, the one was born to be there. He gives you that hope that you can take a tragedy and turn it into a triumph.
Cedric's mantra is no excuses. Somewhere deep inside of you, if you have the thought, then you have the power to complete that thought.
He represents everything that I think that is right. He just puts his head down and go forward to be another example, to lead another way. I mean, that's what he was. He was a leader. He still is because he's leading.
Cedric set some goals that I think the average person would say are a little outrageous, but then sets his mind to go achieve those. And so I think it helps to just hold a mirror up to people and say, if he could do that, I could do that.
The biggest thing is this. If you look over your life, everything, every lesson that you've learned, every course that you've taken, it builds to build you. Life gives me a unique set of obstacles to deal with, not to kill me, but to make me better, to make the best come out of me.
Up next on Going the Distance, how one boy becomes the youngest person in history to run a marathon on all 7 continents.